Ladies and gentlemen, digital investors, welcome back to another video where we cover everything that is going on inside of the crypto space. Now, I know I left you guys hanging for a couple of days. We haven't had an upload up in about 3 days now, guys. I've just been so busy doing a ton of research. There are so many things going on with this market. And honestly, sometimes it's just hard to do videos and do everything else that needs to be done in a day. However, after now pulling almost a week of 12+ hour research days, I think I'm starting to find some more balance coming back. So we have a good episode for today. If you guys are frequent viewers of the show and you would like to show some support, please tap the like button, as it helps a ton to grow this channel and help push the video in the YouTube algorithm. We're going to go over the SEC says third parties asked about the status of XRP and they stayed silent. This is really interesting and also pretty confusing. We also have the ALGOrand Foundation launching a $300 million fund for Defy, Coinbase getting sued by the SEC, Ukraine legalizing cryptocurrencies, and we have central bankers talking about we need urgent solutions to crypto. A lot of really crazy stuff. And while I haven't had a YouTube video up in the past few days, we do have uploads that are going live inside of the Patreon. I had one going up yesterday that goes over NFTs and NFT staking, so make sure you guys check that out. And we have another video that is going to drop in here tomorrow going over 3 coins that I think are going to really have a good time here. These are high risk, high reward bets. The market caps are very low, so while they are high risk, if they do end up playing out, they will be high reward, and I will be dumping these coins into the Patreon along with the research behind it, and then you guys can go ahead and verify and do your own research on it. So patrons, make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to want to act fast on this information. If you're not in the Patreon, but what I'm talking about sounds interesting to you, the first link in the description of this video will take you there. If you want to be a part of a community and get access to how I'm positioning myself in these markets, I do post all of that inside of the Patreon. And if you're a beginner or you just don't really know what you should be parking your money inside of in this market, I think the Patreon could really help you guys out. So if that sounds interesting to you, check the first link in the description. With that said, guys, we're gonna hop in here to urgent solution needed as crypto challenges the traditional banking models, says central banker. An executive at the Bank for International Settlements says central banks must act with a sense of urgency as crypto assets are poised to challenge traditional banking models. The head of Innovation Hub at the BIS says that the pandemic has expedited the move to digital currencies and that central banks must keep in step with the evolution of the payments landscape. So we're basically seeing banks come to the terms with adapt or die. This is what they say. Stablecoins are knocking on the door, seeking regulatory approval. DeFi platforms are challenging traditional finance intermediation, and they are also kicking their ass, shall we say. They all come with different regulatory questions which need fast and consistent answers, but make no mistake, global stablecoins, DeFi platforms, and big tech firms will challenge banks' models regardless. This brings me to my second message. The time has passed for central banks to get going. We should roll up our sleeves and accelerate our work on the nitty-gritty of CBDC's design. CBDCs will take years to be rolled out, while stablecoins and crypto assets are already here. This makes it even more urgent to start. CBDCs will be a part of our answer. A well-designed CBDC will be a safe and neutral means of payment and settlement asset, serving as a common interoperable platform around which the new payment ecosystem can organize. A CBDC's goal is ultimately to preserve the best elements of our current systems while still allowing a safe space for tomorrow's innovation. To do so, central banks have to act while the current system is still in place, and to act now. So guys, yeah, we're seeing the banks come to terms with the fact that they have to adapt or die. You know, if they don't have CBDCs and other banks that do, I think the competitive edge is going to be too great to not have crypto products or crypto custody services or be somewhat integrating this new technology. You know, why would they survive? The world is going to leave them behind. Now, we also have Ukraine passes decree to legalize cryptocurrencies. The Ukrainian parliament has passed legislation that legitimizes crypto and regulates crypto assets within the country in an effort to attract investment. So pretty cool stuff. We've also seen that Bitcoin Day out of El Salvador. So we have El Salvador getting on board with Bitcoin. Now we have Ukraine, and I have a feeling it's probably not going to stop anytime soon. This was the Virtual Asset Bill 3637, which now paves the way for a regulatory framework and wider acceptance. And it makes sense, right, guys? If we're going to see banks really start to roll up their sleeves, start working, do CBDCs, we're probably just going to see nations having to open up to the idea of cryptocurrencies and accept them on a wider level. We also have why nobody wins in Coinbase versus the SEC. So obviously the SEC has sued Coinbase, and this is just saying how nobody wins. And, you know, I do think that as well. I think it's a pretty much a zero-sum game, right? Of course, they're suing them over Coinbase's lend product. They see here the lawyers who say the company's lend product flouts securities laws may have a point, but who is serving the public interest these days? And that's what we're all trying to figure out, right, guys? SEC is supposed to protect us, the investor, and instead it just seems like all they're doing is attacking the crypto sector. The SEC over and over again has refused to put out clear guidelines for people, companies, institutions to follow, and it almost seems like they want these companies to violate these laws that are unclear, that everybody is not sure of, so that they could just slap them with a lawsuit, which honestly is, you know, it really just sucks. I don't really know what other way to put it. You'd think the SEC would come out and put clear-cut rules that we can all easily read and easily follow, and unfortunately, they are doing the exact opposite, and I think frustrating is probably the best way to explain it. Frustrating. Onto some better news, we have ALGOrand Foundation launches a $300 million fund for DeFi innovation, along with ALGOrand tapping a 2-year high. We saw ALGOrand get well above $2 yesterday, so congratulations to all of you Algo holders. ALGOrand has started a new initiative aiming to enhance the developments in the DeFi sector. It will be a $300 million fund to support innovation on the ALGOrand network. I think this is pretty awesome stuff, guys. $300 million is quite a bit of money. That is quite a big fund, and to see it all go into the ALGOrand network for their DeFi innovation, I think it's going to be huge. ALGOrand is already a utility crypto, so that makes it a pretty convincing buy, but to see them raising a fund to invest in their own ecosystem, you know, how could that not make somebody bullish? More SEC stuff, this time against Ripple. SEC says third parties asked about the status of XRP and the agency stayed silent. So they say that while third parties inquired about the legality of the altcoin, in this case we're talking about XRP, it never publicly provided a clear opinion on the matter, right? Exactly what we were just talking about with that Coinbase stuff. They just don't provide clear opinions, or rather, right, why the SEC should rather be providing clear laws. Here we can't even get an opinion out of the SEC, let alone a law. Or law is probably the wrong word. What I'm probably looking for is regulations. Can't even provide clear opinions, let alone regulations. So the commission admits that before the filing of the Ripple case, certain third parties inquired about the legal status of XRP. However, the commission did not state a view one way or the other in response. The SEC says this fact is irrelevant because the commission can prevail in this case even if this requested fact is true. Now, we do have Jeremy Hogan, legal expert, and he's looking to see whether the SEC will have to declare once and for all whether it believes Ethereum is a security. Ripple asked this is what Jeremy Hogan says, by the way. Ripple asks the question we have asked to Chair Gensler, is Ether a security? And they haven't yet, but I believe the SEC will be forced to answer. Yeah, it seems like that's what is getting ready to happen, right? At some point, they're going to have to give an answer. At some point, they're going to have to give their clear opinion. You know, I mean, how many years can you just tiptoe around what everybody needs to know? You know, are we just going to keep slapping people with lawsuits when they unknowingly violate regulations or the SEC's opinion when that opinion is not even clear cut? Again, it seems like the SEC is just so happy, which is very unfortunate. Now, I do want to flip this over to you guys, right? We have Jeremy Hogan saying that he believes that the SEC at some point is going to be forced to answer on the question of whether or not Ether is a security. And my question to you guys is, when the SEC, or if the SEC is backed into that corner and they do have to answer what it is that you think they are going to say, will they be saying that Ethereum is or is not a cryptocurrency? A security? Let me know in the comments below. If they said it wasn't a cryptocurrency, I think we'd really have to question who we have working at the SEC. I mean, imagine that. They're like, Ether? No, it's not even a crypto. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, whether or not you think they will deem Ether as a security. Also, to talk about some NFT stuff, those NFTs of cartoon apes sell for over 24 million in Sotheby's auction. Remember, they were selling 101 Bored Apes, kind of like just this big collection, and it did end up selling for an exact price of $24.4 million. Really insane, guys, that these are NFTs, right? Not even physical art. These are digital art pieces of Bored Apes selling for $24.4 million. The world is clearly changing. We also have some interesting stuff on the Fear and Greed Index. As you guys can see, just last week we were in greed at 72, and like 3 or 4 days ago we had tapped extreme greed, and we were talking about how the Fear and Greed Index loves to act as a pendulum, and when we get to these extreme greed levels, we revert back to extreme fear and then back to extreme greed, and it's just this constant back and forth of retail emotions. And now today we are in fear at 31. Our top 10 coin prices for today: we have Bitcoin at 45,000, Ethereum at 3,300, Cardano at $2.70, BNB at $409, Solana at $180. We have XRP at $1.09, Polkadot at $31, Dogecoin at 24 cents, and Terra at number 11 sitting at $41. And with that said, guys, that is the video for today. If you enjoyed it, I do appreciate you guys tapping the like button. Also, make sure if you're trying to stay up to date on everything going on inside of the crypto markets that you do hit subscribe. And I know there's a ton of you guys who do always watch to the end, which I was super surprised of. But a few videos back, I asked you guys, let me know in a comment, just tell me you made it to the end if you made it till the end. And I was shocked. I thought we'd get like no comments, maybe 1 or 2, but I was just shocked at how many of you guys actually watched till the end, and let me know that in the comments. So I just gotta say, I didn't know there was that many of you. Usually here I just kind of go robotic and I say my outro, the same outro I always say over and over. But I just want to say, for all of you guys who are still here, which I know is a decent amount of you, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all the support, and it blows my mind that you guys watch these videos each and every single day. I know we're going over important stuff in the crypto space, but the fact that you guys choose to watch my content really means a lot. So thank you for that. With that said, guys, that is the video, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody.